Mr. President, one of the biggest problems with Common Core in the eyes of American youth is that it is essentially based upon standardized testing. They believe the standardized testing does not prepare students for the world's challenges. They believe it only prepares them for the test. What do you think about this?
The goal when the Common Core standards were created was not to make students dependent on standardized tests. The Common Core standards are still in development. Since it was created by the NGA and the Council of Chief State School Officers in 2009. These standardized tests, like the PARCC and the Smarter Balanced tests, are still relatively new, and with any change, adaptation, or anything new, it can be difficult, especially for the children and parents that are learning. So what I advise these students and parents to remember is, while kids in public education are taking this test, not only are they testing the new processes and ideas in Common Core, they are testing the effectiveness of these new standardized tests. Even though right now it may seem unfair, without these kind of standardized tests, we could never compare ourselves to other growing countries like China and India to see if our public education system is on par. If our education system is on par, isn't on par, that's when you get the dilemma of students going to get all this education in kindergarten through high school and getting into college and real-world jobs and finding out they're less qualified than the foreign student next to them. And they don't have the knowledge to compete on a fair playing field, even though their grades throughout education would suggest that they were in fact more than qualified and should have been prepared.
What you said actually segues into our next point. You talked about these new processes and things to study just a moment ago. A lot has been said about the new processes of solving problems, especially for math. Some would even say that the new way of solving once fairly simple problems has become needlessly redundant. Why did the Common Core curriculum change the way in which problem solving is taught?
Like I mentioned earlier, the Common Core standards are new. The new way kids are being taught math is they are being taught with the intent of creating number sense. What these kids are learning looks difficult or even nonsensical, but what it is doing is giving them many options to solving one problem. They're still being taught the quick way, or the way they may have known from before to solve that one problem, but now the teachers under Common Core are being taught how to teach children the new, more practical way of doing things. So not only is this hard on the student, it can be extremely difficult for the teacher, since they've probably been teaching this for a number of years. So all that means is, just like I said before, it's a lot to get used to. Over time, these new practices that Common Core curriculum is teaching in math, reading, and English will be more accepted, and students will most definitely see the benefits from it in the near future. These new methods incorporated in Common Core will give them the abilities to solve complex problems that they may not have been able to solve before using the Common Core methods. So, while the change will be difficult to manage for both students and teachers, it will, in the end, enhance the quality of their education, and in turn their ability to work successfully in all fields requiring any knowledge of math, reading, or English. So that's pretty much anything. Over time, these new practices that Common Core curriculum is teaching in math, science, it's math, reading, and English. All right. Over time, these new practices that Common Core curriculum is teaching in math, reading, and English will be more accepted, and students will most definitely see the benefits from it in the near future. These new methods incorporated in Common Core will give them the abilities to solve complex problems that they may not have been able to solve before using the Common Core methods. So, while the change will be difficult to manage for both students and teachers, it will, in the end, enhance the quality of their education, and in turn their ability to work successfully in all fields requiring any knowledge of math, reading, or English. So that's pretty much anything. What I was talking about back in July. I told the public, I said, excuse me. Hello? Putin in North Korea. I gotta go. Nice talking to you.